back to Product X. I'm Rena. Today we're diving into a story that's been making waves in both Silicon Valley and Wall Street. A 2-year-old legal AI startup just landed a $100 million strategic funding round, pushing its valuation to a staggering $1.5 billion. That's Harvey, the company that's somehow gotten Google and OpenAI to co-invest, despite those two being fierce rivals in the foundation model space. Let me introduce our guests. Vivian, tell us who you are in one sentence.
I'm a senior angel investor at Pre-Angel Fund with over a decade of experience backing early-stage tech startups, and I've been tracking AI applications long before it became fashionable.
And Nolan?
I'm a former principal engineer at a major Silicon Valley tech company where I spent years building large-scale distributed systems and now advise startups on AI architecture.
So here's the big question. How does a legal software company get both Google and OpenAI to write checks on the same term sheet? Vivian, let's start with you.
Honestly, what grabs me is their go-to-market strategy. Harvey cracked something most AI founders dream about. They got into the most basho, conservative, risk-averse institutions on the planet. We're talking about law firms where partners still fax documents. They landed PwC and Allen & Overy, which instantly gave them tens of thousands of professional users. Once you've got that kind of footprint, the competitive moat is enormous because switching costs for a law firm mean massive liability risks.
Let me jump in there, because from a technical standpoint, that's exactly the challenge. Those firms can't afford to feed client data into a public chatbot. Harvey had to build something fundamentally different. They use retrieval augmented generation, which means the model doesn't just spit out answers. It first pulls from verified legal databases before generating. It's the difference between a lawyer who cites case law and one who just makes things up.
Right, the hallucination problem. We've all heard those horror stories about lawyers submitting AI-fabricated citations. So Nolan, walk us through the architecture. How did Harvey solve the hallucination issue that plagues every general-purpose LLM?
It's a two-pronged approach. First, they did extensive domain-specific fine-tuning on legal corpora. Millions of real court filings, contracts, and case opinions. But here's the key. They didn't stop at fine-tuning. Their RAG pipeline queries proprietary, highly secure databases in real time. So when a lawyer asks about liability in a specific jurisdiction, the system retrieves the exact statute first, then feeds that to the model. It's basically giving the AI a closed book exam with notes allowed.
Yeah, and I'd add that this is precisely why the big VCs wanted in. Harvey isn't just a better chatbot, it's becoming infrastructure. When you're integrated into a firm's workflow at that depth, replacing you means retraining thousands of lawyers. That's the kind of defensibility that makes investors comfortable writing 9-figure checks.
So we've got the technology angle covered. But Vivian, you mentioned something earlier about a potential weakness. The billing model conflict. Can you expand on that?
Absolutely. Law firms historically bill by the hour. If Harvey makes a junior associate 10 times more productive, the firm's revenue per lawyer actually drops. It's a classic disruption paradox. Harvey has to either convince these firms to adopt value-based pricing or find new revenue streams, or else they'll hit a ceiling despite having incredible technology. We saw this play out in other professional services. It's not a trivial problem.
I see it differently. I think Harvey's real bet is on becoming a platform. If they can build legal agents that handle multi-step workflows, not just Q&A, but actual case strategy, then they move from a tool to a necessity. That's where the defensibility really lies. Right now, they're a smart assistant. 5 years from now, they could be an autonomous legal team.
Wait, but that's the same bet every vertical AI startup is making. The question is whether they can execute faster than a well-funded incumbent. Remember, OpenAI and Anthropic are already targeting enterprise.
Fair point. So both of you are saying the next 18 months are critical. Let's talk about the funding itself. Vivian, from a capital perspective, What's the strategic play here for GV, Sequoia, and OpenAI's fund?
They're buying optionality. No one knows yet which vertical AI application will become the category winner, but everyone agrees the winner in legal could be enormous. Legal spending globally is in the hundreds of billions. By taking a position in Harvey, these firms get a front-row seat to the biggest transformation in professional services since the internet. And if Harvey fails, they're not out much. If it wins, they've got a stake in the new infrastructure.
I'd actually argue it's even more tactical than that. Look at the investor lineup: Google, OpenAI, Sequoia. That's basically the entire AI ecosystem covering foundation models, distribution, and capital. Harvey becomes the proof point for vertical AI applications. If it works, expect a flood of similar deals in healthcare, finance, you name it.
That's a great point, Harvey, as a template. Last question for this segment. Nolan, purely from a tech architecture standpoint, what keeps you up at night if you were building this?
Honestly, dependency on someone else's foundation model. If OpenAI releases GPT-5 with native legal reasoning capabilities that rivals Harvey's fine-tuned model, they've just been commoditized overnight. The only defense is building proprietary workflows and data advantages that no foundation model can easily replicate. That's a race against time.
Okay, let's do a quick lightning round. Fast answers only. First question. When you hear legal AI, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Money. Massive, untapped market.
Hallucinations. The whole thing lives or dies by accuracy.
What's one thing about law firms that would surprise most tech people?
They still use fax machines in 2024. It's wild.
How much they actually rely on junior associates to do document review. It's grunt work that AI could automate tomorrow.
If you could force every lawyer to learn one tech skill, what would it be?
Prompt engineering. Seriously. The difference between a good answer and garbage is how you ask.
Data literacy. Understanding what their own case data is worth.
Last one. Will AI replace junior lawyers in the next decade?
Not replace, but the role will be unrecognizable. They'll be AI supervisors, not document factories.
Yeah, I agree. The question is whether law firms will adapt their business model fast enough to survive.
Okay, let's wrap up. Vivian, one sentence. What's the takeaway from today's conversation?
Harvey has built an incredible wedge into the most conservative industry on the planet, but the real battle is whether they can turn their early traction into a defensible platform before the foundation model guys catch up.
Nolan?
Their RAG plus fine-tuning architecture is sound, but the technical moat only lasts as long as OpenAI doesn't solve hallucination at the foundation level. They've got a window, and they need to capitalize on it.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks to Vivian and Nolan for the insights. And thanks to all of you for watching Product X. If you want more deep dives on AI startups and the future of tech, hit subscribe and join the conversation in the comments. I'm Rena, and I'll see you in the next episode.